Hi, welcome to the clay hand building section of our theme on nature and ecology. My name is Claire. I'm directing this part of the video towards you, the teacher, so that we can prep some materials and cover a few tips to have the workshop run a little more smoothly. You're going to need about an hour and 15, maybe an hour and a half to cover the project. After we've handed out the clay, the students will get a little bit of free time with the clay, but then I'm going to have them squash it or anything they've made back into a ball, and we're going to follow some step-by-step instructions. What I'll do is at the end of each set of instructions and before the next one starts, I'm going to just rattle my seed pods as a cue for you to be able to maybe pause the video so that students can catch up with what we're doing, or wait until you've got everybody's attention. It's so difficult once kids have clay in their hands to have them stop what they're doing and focus their attention elsewhere. So there is a section in the video where we join two pieces of clay together. So we add scoring and a little bit of slip, and we use that as a point where we could attach another branch or roots to our tree trunk. The point being to learn how to join two pieces of clay together. If that's too advanced for your students, so if you're dealing with kindergartens or grade ones, maybe skip that step and then just go to the next part where the seed pods rattle again and you can resume the instructions. Great, so one last note about preparation is that at the end of the class we'll want to find a place to put the little tree sculptures so that they can dry. I would advise that you have a piece of paper, cardstock, or even paper towel ready with each student's name on the paper towel or the paper, and that's placed on a flat surface somewhere. So it could be a table, could be a windowsill, so as long as it's not close to a hot air vent, because then the sculptures will dry out too quickly and crack. So at the end of the class, when everybody is finished, they will carry their sculpture from their desk over to the place where their paper is and place it there to dry. So you might want to have that done ahead of time, and then we're going to look at what's in your kit and how to prep the clay. In your takeout kit, you'll have a bag of clay, you'll have a bag of bamboo skewers, each student gets one, and you'll have a cutter, usually made out of wire. It might not look exactly like this, but we will use that to cut up the clay. Then there are some extras. Each student needs a pair of scissors. They can use their own and wipe them clean at the end. And for older students, maybe grade 2 upwards, an optional extra is having sponges. You can cut up big car sponges into smaller pieces. Avoid the ones that are already impregnated with soap. And we're just going to submerge all those sponges in water, squeeze out the excess so that you're left with something that's a little bit damp. It's going to sit in on the front of the student's desk, and it's just for them to keep their fingertips moist. So let's look at how we're going to cut up the clay. You want to take it out of your bag. Put it upside down on the table. Keep your bag for putting over the clay to keep it damp and moist. And then what I do to cut it up is go halfway through the center, so you can see what I'm doing on the side, and then I'm just going to pull that wire straight up the center of the block of clay. Doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to do the same here. Go into the center of the clay and pull all the way up. I'm going to do another one a quarter of the way along, and another one 1/4 in from the side. Okay, and once you've got that, you could make 4 cuts going this way, so that you've ended up with some blocks of clay that are ready to use. So each student is going to get one of these blocks. They come out quite easily. We'll hand them out at the beginning, and then they'll get a second block later on in the class, not immediately. While we're waiting to hand out the clay, let's just put it all to one side and cover it up again so that it doesn't get too dry. You'll notice that I've got a bunch of extra clay left on the table here. The easiest way to get rid of that is to just scrape it up with the side edge of a skewer, rather than trying to get it off with a sponge, which creates more mess. So this is what we're going to start with, and this is what you can use optionally.